Commissioner of Police FCT Command Sunday Babaji confirms rescue of the 6 kidnapped from senior staff quarters of the University of Abuja on the 2nd of this month. Few hours to the Anambra gubernatorial election, correspondents examine security situation, INEC preparedness, overall mood of residents and expectations of the electorate in general. Plus, Arewa Media Interactive and Development Forum expresses hope that Nigeria will remain a strong nation as citizens downplay ethnic differences. All this and more on Panorama. I'm Naja Atutijani. We start on a cheerful note of the rescue of victims abducted from the University of Abuja who are currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Abuja. The victims were received by a combined team of security agents. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police FCT Command, Sunday Babaji, has commended efforts of sister security agencies and residents of the area.
As you are aware, we received a very, very sad news on the 2nd of November 2021 when the senior staff quarters of the University of Abuja was invaded by unknown gunmen. To God be the glory. We deploy all our assets in collaboration with sister security agencies. We've been working around the clock, and to God be the glory, this morning by 06:55 hours, all the 6 victims were rescued unhurt, and they've been taken to an undisclosed hospital for security reasons for medical check. We are assuring the family and the loved ones to be calm, as all the victims that are rescued will soon be reunited to them.
Now to climate matters. Electric vehicles are an integral part of the transition to clean energy and sustainable transport. And at the ongoing Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, the National Automotive Design and Development Council has shown Nigeria's capacity to produce electric and gas-powered vehicles to significantly reduce carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide emissions in line with the net zero target of the Paris Agreement. NTA Fineface reports.
Moving faster, greener, cleaner, safer and noiseless, Nigeria has joined the race with a show of capacity to produce electric vehicles and advance the nation's plan to use gas as a transition energy by leveraging technologies in auto gas-powered vehicles. Our presentation on the role of electric and auto gas-powered vehicles development project in promoting carbonless transportation in Nigeria on the sidelines of the UN Climate Conference COP26 in Glasgow by the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, Jelani Aliyu.
In terms of the start of production of 70 electric vehicles in Nigeria, really goes a long way towards helping Nigeria achieve those targets.
The enormous potentials of this technology to create jobs and make mass transit systems more effective and affordable. With our national commitment to get to net zero by 2060 and dedicated electric vehicle charging points underway in Sokoto, Lagos and Nsukka, what is left is a public-private partnership to scale the production of these vehicles and put Nigeria on the backs of the eagle in the race to sustainable transport. NTA Fineface, NTA News.
Back home in Nigeria, last-minute preparations for the November 6 Anambra State governorship election. Preparations even in the area of peace building as candidates sign a peace accord in Awka, Anambra State. Mayor Ugidi reports.
It is a tipping point at the Anambra governorship election, but having peace is crucial, so time to preach peace. The General Abu Salami Abubakar Peace Committee is here, committing the 18 candidates to ensure violent-free poll.
We call on all the candidates, their parties and supporters to accept the outcome of the vote we cherish Anambra State, and we cherish the peace and unity of Nigeria.
That just like Edo and Ondo, the election on Saturday will be peaceful and the outcome will reflect the will of the Anambra voters. INEC has done everything possible to ensure credible elections in Anambra State under very challenging circumstances.
The coast getting clearer for the poll, so the umpire, INEC, takes the political parties to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Awka branch, for confidence building, as it were, checking the sensitive materials, all intact, and distribution of non-sensitive materials to the wards ongoing. As the materials get to the wards, the security personnel also on alert for any uncertainty.
We're also getting very strong support and collaboration from the military and the rest of them. And we're working together to ensure we deliver to the people of Anambra a conducive environment for them to exercise their franchise and a safe environment for the conduct of a very credible and fair elections.
Anambra is calm. The prayer is still more peace as the clock ticks. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
We'll now join our correspondent, Nnamdi Odipo, who is in Awka to cover the elections. Can you hear me, Nnamdi?
Very well, Najatu.
4 hours, the good people of Anambra will be on the ballot to decide who governs the state for the next 4 years. What's the general mood of voters? Are they in high spirits?
Well, it's what I can tell you for sure, that I know for sure, is that the town is really, really peaceful and calm. I mean, that's something we know for a fact. Right now, we've had the opportunity to go across town, and so we can easily confirm that, of course, that's because of a number of things. Actually, the presence of security agencies all across the state, in addition to the fact that today has also been declared by the state's government as a public holiday, and so most families are using the opportunity to stay back at home and, just in anticipation and in preparation for tomorrow's exercise. I'm coming to you now live from a very popular part of central Awka, that of course is the state's capital. This is where they describe as the Aroma Junction. A couple of years back, this bridge wasn't there. This is a new bridge. Not new in the sense of new. It's almost about 5-6 years. But of course, when I was back here in Awka, it wasn't here. So for me, this is new. So it's relatively new for people who probably haven't been to the States in the last 6-7 years. But then this is a very popular junction axis of central Awka. Vintage Awka, this would have been a very busy place. But of course, like I said, for an amalgam of reasons, we're seeing the traffic is less on this rather, formerly busy route. And so it will seem deserted at this point. But Najatu, that is not surprising. People are at home. People are preparing for the elections proper. Not so many people are on the road. People are taking time to look at how things pan out. People are being cautious in how they come out. And so we expect that as the day, winds down, more people would come out and, see for themselves. But of course, let's not forget that there will be the Inspector General of Police has declared restriction of movement that will commence by stroke of midnight today and would will carry throughout the exercise, the election, and would end sometime when we'll approach a critical phase of the election. Of course, that will be by tomorrow. We'll keep you updated as to how that unfolds. But for now, what I can tell you for sure that we know for a fact, Najatu, is that there is peace. That's a good thing. We hope that the peace will succeed. We hope that it would encourage people to come out to also participate in the election come tomorrow. Naja?
Now, what else is being done? You've just mentioned a couple of things as regards to, the mood and security. But what else is being done to ensure peace, order and decorum are maintained in the course of the election? Just briefly, though you've touched on one or two things.
I mean, one of the things we've seen is that we've monitored media stations across. We see them encouraging people to come out. We know civil society organizations are still doing somewhat of a mobilization in communities, in rural communities, encouraging people to come out. Well, we did get some reports of religious centers. The southeast Anambra, they're predominantly Christians. We do know that some clergymen are still out there doing the work, you know, encouraging people to come out. Opinion leaders, of course, are also out there and doing the work, urging and encouraging people to come out tomorrow. We do expect that all of this put together would encourage the sustenance of peace, would encourage people to also come out and participate in the exercise tomorrow, Najatu.
So we hope so too. We're looking forward to more updates from you when we enter the elections proper. Thank you very much. Still on the Anambra governorship election, we have Dr. Abubakar Umar Kari via Zoom. He is an associate professor of political sociology. Now, in a few hours, the good people of Anambra will go to the polls to elect their governor. What is your assessment of preparations so far?
Well, like every Nigerian, we are quite in upbeat mood. We are hopeful that despite the threats and the obvious security challenges, the Anambra governorship election will come to be peaceful, to be successful, because sometimes the storm is over even before the rain comes. And I think that is what is going to happen in Anambra State. It is good, okay, that IPOB has withdrawn its threat. There has been cautious optimism among the citizens of Anambra State. But I think because of the unwavering resolve of the INEC and the federal government, the deployment of security personnel, the election will be secured. So I'm very hopeful that at the end of the day, we are going to have the elections and they are going to be successful.
Now, still in line with this, many have commended the peace accord signed. What is your take on this, especially against certain apprehensions over the election?
Yeah, those symbolic, the peace accord is good. It has become a ritual for some time now. I think from 2011, the peace committee headed by Abdulsalam Abubakar and comprising of eminent Nigerians have always insisted that political leaders and particularly contestants should come and make commitment to peace. And this time around, it was done yesterday. It is reassuring that all the governorship candidates have signed the accord. They have made commitment that they are going to behave themselves and they are going to tell their supporters to also behave themselves. They are going to act as good sportsmen and women. We are going to hold them to their commitment. We are going to insist that they respect and abide by the commitment. And it is good that they have done so.
I'm glad you mentioned respect, mutual respect. What else can candidates do to embrace politics without bitterness? Briefly.
Yeah, I think very importantly is to talk to their supporters, to talk to their agents. Is also to imbibe and openly show their commitment to the spirit of sportsmanship. This is an election, it is a contest. We can only have one winner, but at the end of the day, the democratic enterprise and the country must be preserved. The peace and unity of the country must be uppermost in their minds. So beyond signing the peace accord, I think they should do very well by talking to their supporters.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abubakar Umar Kari.
Telling them to embrace.
Thank you very much, Doctor. That was Dr. Abubakar Umar Kairi, Associate Professor of Political Sociology at the University of Abuja. And still on security, the Nigerian army says none of its soldiers has escorted fake voters into Anambra State, contrary to misleading information. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, indicates that the buses in question were conveying INEC permanent and ad hoc staff for the election in Anambra State. The statement notes that the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture has corroborated this position and urges the public to disregard the fake report. The duty of the Nigerian Army in Anambra State is security-related and in support of the Nigeria Police Force, which is the lead security agency in the security architecture of electioneering, the statement concludes. In the meantime, the Southeast governors are asking security agencies deployed for the Anambra election to give adequate security cover during the poll. In a statement by Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi, the Southeast governors are thanking the federal government and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for their determination to hold the Anambra election on 6th November 2021. The governors give assurance of support to ensure a free, fair and violence-free election. The Southeast governors also ask eligible voters in Anambra State to go out and vote for candidates of their choice, saying the federal government has provided adequate security measures. The statement adds that the governors realize that this insecurity in the Southeast has gone beyond the prescribed IPOB, adding that cultists, armed robbers and kidnappers have recruited themselves and are using the name of the outlawed IPOB. Similarly, the Southeast Governors Forum says it has identified some of the spokespersons of various agitators issuing illegal orders of sit-at-home in the region and is working to address the problem. The group appreciates Ohaneze Ndigbo, religious leaders and the Christian Association of Nigeria for their interventions and mediation. It's time for a break now. Panorama continues shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
The last 4 days have been trying for relatives of victims trapped under the rubble of the collapsed high-rise building on Gerrard Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. As search and rescue operations intensify, the agony of those waiting in hope is beginning to take its toll. Adeni Itaiwo reports.
The first cloud of dust from the collapsed building had barely settled on Monday afternoon when some of these people, jolted by the news of the disaster, had converged here on the scene to monitor the search and rescue operations. They have in common a shared anxiety about the fate of their loved ones trapped under the rubble, and it is not comforting that only 9 victims have so far been rescued alive. Godwin Abel flew in from Abuja on Tuesday. His son, Emmanuel Abel, was among the apprentices working on the site before it collapsed on Monday. Although he has resigned to fate, he could not hide his pain as he told anyone who cared to listen that he wanted to see his son.
I want to see my son so I can return back to Abuja and tell my wife that our son that she gave birth to with only one wrapper. that I was doing Okada 2004 with to survive with is dead.
With more than 4 days gone into the rescue operations, the hope of many may have one thing. That is why, in empathizing with them, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state government is offering psychosocial support to victims and their relatives.
We want to do the things properly, and properly meaning let's do it officially, with a pathologist and all of the things, in the event that we need to present these cases forward, in a criminal case. So far, more than 39 bodies, including that of the owner of the building, Femi Oshibono, have been evacuated from the debris from Ikoyi in Lagos. Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Let's now join Adeni Taiwo live from Lagos for more on this sad situation. Adeni, can you tell us what the update is?
Thank you, Najatu. It's day 5 here at Ikoyi, where there's still an ongoing effort to bring out more people from the debris. A while ago, rescue operation resumed because they took, a break. After I think there was this rainfall early in the morning, so they took a break and now they are back working. The rescue operation, reached a form of climax yesterday with the recovery of the body of the owner of the building. That is talking about Mr. Femi Oshibono. But the work is still going on, and this morning I attempted, getting an update. But emergency workers are, keeping a sealed lips about that. They are not giving us any new figure, but we understand that 1 or 2 more bodies were brought out, late in the evening yesterday. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Obafemi Hamzat, is on the premises right now. He's been in there, trying to encourage the emergency workers and supervising them. But we are not getting any update as at now. If you look behind me, you see that the debris has come down, a little, and the expectation is that in time, when they are able to clear this, attention will shift from this place to the venue of the panel constituted by the Lagos State government to investigate the remote and immediate cause of this. As I speak to you, the Commissioner of Police of Lagos State Command, that is Mr. Hakeem Odumosu, is just arriving the scene, also to see what is going on and do what he can to move the process forward. So that is what it has been so far. I'll get back to you with more updates as events unfold.
Thank you very much, Adini. We'll be expecting more updates. Now, the 9th edition of the 2021 ECOWAS Traditional Wrestling Tournament has opened in Dakar, Senegal. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports that the tournament is aimed at strengthening bonds among ECOWAS member states.
60 wrestlers from 10 West African countries, including Nigeria, ready to showcase their talent, knowledge and skills to go with the #1 title.
By God's grace, my hope is we will perform above our previous performance.
From what we are seeing, the game will be in our favor because we have already started with success. For the ECOWAS Commission, this is a new format to offer equal opportunities to host the tournament, paving way for local visibility, economic value, as well as encouraging member states to develop national and local traditional wrestling infrastructure.
We're allowing countries to bid for the games. That way, it will be financed through the private sector in the different countries. We will have a resolution to the problems, and it will expand. As countries host, it will expand. It will be like the Olympics of wrestling.
Modalities are owned by the technical committee to accommodate women wrestlers in the next tournament. So, on the 10th edition, women will also be on the pitch. From Dakar, Senegal, Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
And that update from Senegal concludes News Panorama this Friday. Thanks for watching. I'm Naja Atutijani. Do remember to keep supporting the NTA's campaign against rape and rapists.
NTA. You can't beat the rich.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
There's the start, and